wanted to take you through my skincare routine. And in the last acne update video I did, I got a lot of requests for this, and I haven't done one of these in a really long time, so I'll link you to my last acne update since I am wearing makeup now. You can see in that video how my skin has been, but I wanted to show you kind of my daily routine and kind of what I've been using. And as you know, I don't really like to switch things up a lot. I kind of feel like a scientist. If I'm adding something or subtracting something from my skincare routine, I need to make sure I know, what's making a change in my skin and what's not. So for me, I usually only add or subtract about a product at a time or a set of products at a time to see what's working. And sometimes I do test out my face differently and then my back and my chest differently. Currently, I have been doing my face all with the same product since I have found something that I do think works for me and I wanted to test it out completely. But without any further ado, I do want to show you what I've been using. Now, the first step to my skincare routine does not happen every day. This only happens on days that I'm wearing makeup. And what it is actually removing my makeup. Now, we've done a video on this too, how to properly remove your makeup, but a lot of people think that if they cleanse twice, oh, they've got their makeup off. But if you actually check with a wipe, there's a lot left over. So what I've currently been using is Power Mud. This is fairly new. It's from Glam Glow, which is a mask that I've loved for ages, but it's actually a mud to oil. So when you actually rub it into your skin, it kind of changes from this muddy paste to like an oil, and it's amazing as a cleanser, but for me, I use it to remove my makeup, which is fantastic. And if I'm correct, it's also got green tea extract and volcanic clay things in it that really help boost up your skin, but like I said, for me this is just an amazing makeup remover. Now, along with that, I like to use wipes. I usually just use any wipes from Yes2 or from Neutrogena or from Olay. Like, it really doesn't matter to me. Currently, I've been using these. This is the Yes2 Anti-Aging. I'm just using these because that's what's on hand, but I use these wipes to wipe away the mud and wipe away the makeup, and I continue removing my makeup until these wipes come back clean. The next step for me is my cleanser, and currently I've been using Clearogen from Sephora. These do have the little trowel sizes, which I think is amazing because my life is very on the go and I do want to stay routine with my skincare. But the active ingredient in this is salicylic acid, but it comes as a 3-step kit. In addition to the salicylic acid, the way this fights acne is actually by going into the skin and helping to control the oil. And the package also claims that it helps control hormones. Now, it doesn't control hormones like orally. This doesn't like circulate throughout your body and change up your hormones. It basically goes into your skin to treat the hormonal sides of acne by fighting the bacteria with the salicylic acid. Salicylic acid also helps lightly exfoliate, really gets down in there, and it can treat both topical acne and the hormonal acne. And it is salicylic 2%, so it's not overly drying or anything like that for my skin type, and it is a nice foam that really gets into the skin. With that, I also use the Clarisonic. I didn't use the Clarisonic for a really long time, but recently I picked up the Acne brush again. This is just kind of a little machine that rotates on your skin, and before I was using a regular spin brush, but I will link you. I saw a video where they tested this Acne brush, or the Clarisonic brush, against another just rotating brush on nylons, like nylon stockings. And when they held it up, the Clarisonic, because what it does is that it's like a brush, but the middle part rotates. But with the nylon, it just kind of tugged and pulled, but it didn't rip. When you used the other brush, it completely ripped up and tore up the nylons. And I was like, wow, is that what other brushes are doing to my skin? And I do have a favorite skin brush that I've been using a long time ago that was like $20 or $30, so it wasn't as expensive as this, but a lot of people said, I was trying to compare the two, and people were saying there is no comparison. So in all fairness, I decided to pick this up again and see how I liked it. So far I have been loving it, and it is more gentle on my skin. And this brush is also green. It's supposed to be the acne brush, so it's supposed to actually be antibacterial. So that's what I've been using. And normally on a day-to-day basis, that's the end of my skincare routine, and I go into my toner and moisturizer. But about once or twice a week, I do use an exfoliant. Now, this is the one I've been using forever. This is from Amrovisica, I can't pronounce this. And it is a gentle buffing cleanser. It's not exactly an exfoliator, but since I use it in combination with the Clarisonic, and since it does have this sandy texture, I don't want to over-exfoliate my skin for summer. Over-exfoliation can cause irritation to acne, which I don't want to irritate my skin and make my acne worse. But also for sun exposure, I don't want to strip my skin. So this is a nice kind of milky cleanser, but I honestly just use it as an exfoliator because that's what worked best for me. And it's really just gentle. I use it about twice a week. And then with that, I normally use the Luxe brush from Clarisonic. This just straps onto my regular Clarisonic, and what it is that it's actually a brush that rotates the same way the other one does, but this one is more of a luxury brush, and it's more gentle on the skin. The bristles here are much, much, much longer than the Acne brush or than the regular Clarisonic brush heads. So this one is super, super gentle when it comes to your skin. It kind of massages the skin and like almost tickles it versus actually scrubbing it. But it still helps me penetrate the exfoliant, and this allows me to really get the product in there without over exfoliating. So I'll usually put that on about once or twice a week. Like I said, once that's done, I do go into my toner, and this is again from the Clearogen system that I have been using from Sephora. This one has salicylic acid 1%, so it's not as much as the others. It does contain water, but it contains witch hazel. Most toners are full of alcohol, which is extremely drying, and although this does have a small percent, this has witch hazel, which is antibacterial, helps to tone your skin, balance the pH of your skin, and at the same time it has salicylic to fight the acne. So versus a regular toner, I have been liking this a lot more, and it comes out just as a clear drop. You kind of drop it onto your skin, and like the cleanser, it also treats the topical acne, it treats the hormonal acne that's a little bit underneath because of the way it penetrates, and it does overall help with oil production. The very last step to kind of my daily routine is applying a moisturizer, and the Clearogen one is the one that came in the system. This one is a benzoyl peroxide treatment, and I have found this to be a little bit drying. It is benzoyl peroxide, what is it, 2.5%, and although it does contain other things like green tea and other things that are great for your skin, I have noticed that overall this can be drying, so I will use this every day if I can, but if it does get a little bit too drying for me, I will switch it up. Now, I know that Clearogen also has a non-drying acne moisturizer. I have to be honest, I have not tried it yet. I am definitely going to see if I can explore that, since this does get a little bit drying for me, but at the time, this is just what I've been using. So although that is an alternative, I haven't personally been using it yet, but this kind of comes out as a paste, and what I like is that I can also spot treatment with this. So when it is way too drying for my skin, this is great for those spots and bumps and really helps clear them out. And the benzoyl peroxide works by penetrating and drying the skin. And like I said, on some days that it's a little bit too drying for me, I do use my Neutrogena oil-free moisturizer. This has been part of for sensitive skin. It's been part of my skincare routine probably since I was, gosh, over like 10 years. It was like the first product the doctor recommended for me, and it's safe for acne, but this is honestly one of my go-tos, and I like to mix these two to help just so that it doesn't dry out as much. So on days that my skin is super sensitive, I will use this alone, but I really like to mix the two if my skin is acting up with this alone, and then just use this as a spot treatment. Now when it comes to my skincare routine, these are two things I take orally, but I still feel like they are a big part of my skincare routine because, you know, what goes in is what's going to come out. And I have noticed that when adding or subtracting things like hydration or supplements to my diet, I have noticed a big difference because those are the building blocks that your skin is made up of. So the first thing that I've been taking forever, I've spoken about this 100 times, is the Acne Ease supplement. This is based off of Chinese medicine, but it's got a whole bunch of different ingredients in there. It's an herbal tablet. Originally, they put you on a detox phase, which means like take, 12 to 16 tablets a day. I'm only on 3. Sometimes I even do 2 or 1. But the way this works is that it controls oil and even helps to balance your hormones. So they say it's a natural way of balancing hormones. Kind of the way birth control does. We just did a video on birth control. You can go check that out. But they're saying it's kind of similar to that, only without the harmful side effects of birth control. Because they say that birth control can cause heart issues, or scientists say birth control can cause heart issues. And I know that a lot of birth controls recently were like FDA black boxed, which means they actually take them off the market. But these are little tablets that come out pretty small and easy to take, but they've got dandelion, they've got mustard leaf, they've got a whole bunch of different fruit and vegetable and herb blends in here that is supposed to help combat the oil from the inside out and also help regulate those hormones. And that's why you take them multiple times a day, is to keep the amount of the supplements steady in your bloodstream, so that way your hormones theoretically are a bit more balanced than if you took them just once in the morning or once at night. The very next thing is staying hydrated, and this is actually a juice cleanse. This is something I've been doing recently. You guys know I love juicing, and I'll link you to a juicing 101 video if you have questions about juicing or anything, or detoxing. I'll link everything in the bottom tab, so feel free to go check it out. But this is one juice that I've been loving currently. This is from Urban Remedy, and even if I don't do the full juice cleanse, I like to just kind of sip on juice throughout the day. And even if it's not this, just staying hydrated. Water for me is a huge factor in my acne, and I find that if I'm dehydrated or not getting my, liquid or nutrient intake, that my body does kind of freak out. So this is something that is personally, I think, very important for a skincare routine. That's all I do daily, but about once a week I do put on a mask and battle my blackheads. These are the Proactive Pro Strips. These Proactive Pore Strips, I've been using these for a little while now, and what they are is a salicylic treatment that you kind of mix up on your face. You basically have these little wipes, you apply a dropper that contains salicylic acid to them, and you leave it on your face for 20 minutes. And what happens is that it actually hardens, and when you go to peel it off, it actually pulls blackheads out of your nose. So this is something that I've been using. I have not tried it on other parts of my face. I should probably try it on my back. Hush your muffins, phone. But this is what I've been using and been loving. The very last thing that I do, usually on the day that I'm doing my blackhead treatment, is a mask. And this is one from Clinique that's kind of a white clay that I've currently been using. This is allergy tested and it's oil control, which is perfect for summer. It's part of the acne control line, so it's supposed to be great and perfect for acne control skin because it's a cleansing mask and it won't break you out. It says it's a medicated formula that unclogs pores, gets rid of excess oil. It is oil free, and it contains soothing natural clay, which is what really helps to draw out those impurities. So I usually put this on, leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes until it gets a little bit hard, and then just kind of wash it off. So yeah, guys, that has been my current skincare routine. I hope that this video helps you. If you guys had questions about this, I know a lot of people did. If you have suggestions or questions about any of these products, feel free to let me know. Or if you've tried any of them, let me know how you like it. I will definitely keep you guys updated. Let me know if you want another skincare routine video when I do start to switch things up, or let me know if you want a back routine video, because I do treat my back differently than I treat my face to combat back acne, especially for bikini season, because my back is a little bit harder to treat than my face. So let me know if you want a video on that, or beach body breakouts, or anything else. But I love you guys. I really hope that this video helped you. I will link all of the videos that I mentioned in the bottom tab, and I cannot wait to talk to you all in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.